everyone? Today, welcome back to the Nameless Podcast, episode 7. I am your host of today. I am your host today, and I'm here with my co-host. Why don't you say hello? As you can see, my co-host sniffed some glue before this recording, so.
Oh,
Alright, so
SpongeBob me
let's,
boy.
let's say we start this off a little bit of small talk, my boy. How you been doing, man?
I've been doing wonderfully.
Huh, well, that's good to hear. Um, I've been doing pretty okay myself. Just started lifting heavy again. Hit a new PR on bench press yesterday, so I'm feeling good. I hit 170. Feeling pretty good about it.
My boy about to become a strong man in a moment's notice.
Alright, but yeah, so for today's episode, we're gonna do something different than what we usually do. We are going to be reading stories from Am I the Asshole, which is a subreddit where people where people send stuff that they do in their life or what other people do, and ask if they were wrong in the situation. And what I'm gonna read through them, and me and my co-host here will decide if they're the asshole or not, in our personal opinions. So yeah, let's just dive right into the first story. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I told you so and laughing at me when we got the paternity test results? Okay. So hey, it's the top post, dude. Fucking
Wait a minute. Could you share your screen?
I'm using my phone.
All right.
Yeah, because I only have two screens. So I can't have OBS and Discord up without having to close one.
All right.
Alright, so let me read this again. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I told you so and laughing at me? And laughing. Wait, I'm having a stroke. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I told you so and laughing at me when we got the paternity test results? Okay. I, 27F, have been married to my husband, 28M, for 2 years, and gave birth to our daughter 5 weeks ago. I'll try to keep this short so I don't waste your time with any irrelevant details. What happened was that our daughter came out with blonde hair and pale blue eyes, while my husband and I have brown hair and brown eyes. My husband freaked out at this point and refused to listen to my explanation that sometimes babies are born with lighter hair and eyes that get darker over time. He demanded a paternity test and threatened to divorce me if I didn't comply, so I did. After my daughter and I got home from the hospital, my parents went to stay at his parents' house for the first 3 weeks to get some space for me while I recovered, and he told them what was happening. My MIL, or mother-in-law, called and informed me that if the paternity test revealed that the child wasn't his, she would do anything within her power to make sure that I was taken to the cleaners. Well, quote, taken to the cleaners, quote. During the divorce, I had my sister to lean on and help me take care of the baby during this. We got the results back yesterday, and my husband came home to view them with me. I was on the couch in the living room, so he sat next to me and we started to read the results. They showed he was the father of my husband and my husband had this shocked, kind of mortified look on his face with his eyes wide as he stared at it. I couldn't help but say, I told you so, and started laughing at the way he looked. My husband snapped out of his shock and he got mad at me for laughing at him. We argued for a bit, which was mainly him yelling at me before my sister came downstairs and my husband shut up. After that, my husband went back to his parents' house to clear his head, and 3 hours later, my mother-in-law called to scold me about laughing in my husband's face because apparently it was kicking him while he was down. She also left a couple nasty text essentially saying the same thing this morning. I don't think I'm an asshole, but I'd like an outsider's perspective on this. And there are 2 edits, but I'm gonna wait unless you have any questions. No, okay, so there are some edits. Edit 1, I didn't realize I put me instead of him. Sorry, I have a headache. Edit 2, since someone asked in the comments, but I can't find it anymore. I have 0 history of cheating.
Hmm.
So, what do you think on that? From what I'm getting from this is that she, I guess, laughed at her husband when he was wrong about the paternity. That's what I'm getting at on it.
Okay, well, okay, now I see why people now I see why people actually I see why people actually post on here now. That's actually a pretty interesting story. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fully say this because by the time I could definitely see by the time the husband had the shocked look on his face and was surprised at the fact that the baby was his, he obviously felt guilty. I mean, if I was in his position, I would feel guilty as fuck for threatening to divorce if you didn't show, like the paternity and
If I
all
was in
that
his
stuff.
position, I wouldn't question it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if it says that the baby is mine, then the baby is mine. It's like what else can I? It's like what else can I say against that? And yes, it's obvious that I mean, when children are born, they could be born with brighter eyes and brighter hair. Then over time, it gets darker.
That's
That's
true.
usually how that
Yeah,
does work.
most babies are born with blue eyes and they get darker over time.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean that happens a lot, and so obviously, but of course, in fairness, he was a bit paranoid. I'm sure lots of guys would be.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Looking from a
And
kindergarten
obvious, and
perspective, I
obvious,
guess.
yeah, and obviously he felt guilty, and I'm not exactly sure whether or not he was going to apologize when he found out the baby was his. I mean, I don't doubt it, but I'm pretty sure he probably wasn't going to apologize after the fact that she laughed in his face, said "I told you so."
Yeah, I do think that was a bit rash, I guess. But at the same time, you can make the argument that they were both under a lot of stress. So I guess you could
Yeah,
say it could have just been like a um outburst that she didn't mean to take that far, or I guess like she didn't mean to, but it was in the moment kind of thing. It was like in the moment kind of reaction.
or you could argue at the point that they're both assholes.
True, but if you want to do that, then who would be the bigger asshole?
That's a good question. I mean, probably the husband for threatening to divorce, but again, what kind of reaction would someone have to see a baby that doesn't look very much like either of them? And of course, fairly reasonable for someone to get scared at that point. But again, threatening to divorce, I mean, I'd say you divorce after you find out the baby isn't yours. Now, by that point, sure, go ahead, divorce. But until then, it's kind of like an innocent until proven guilty thing.
Yeah. Looking at the comments, I see a lot of people are saying not the asshole, saying she's not the asshole. I'm gonna just read a comment I found right here from Crystal Queen 3000. Not the asshole. Fuck that guy. Not only doesn't he have a basic grasp of genetics, he threw a tantrum and left you immediately after having the baby to struggle alone for almost a month. No, yeah. He's lucky all you did was laugh in his face. And that's that. That was that. Which I kind of agree with, I guess, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a reasonable perspective.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can see why. Yeah. We gotta make sure we're looking at this from a completely biased perspective, by the way.
You mean
So,
unbiased?
unbiased, yeah, that's what I meant. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not quite. I mean, okay, yeah, before recording, I said like people really need to go on a Reddit to see if they're an asshole or not. But now I see why people post on this Reddit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, this is actually kind of tough.
We also gotta remember the her mother-in-law or the husband's mom like sent disgusting texts and shit like that to her.
Yeah, a situation like this, I mean, we can only take it at face value right here because there
Hell,
might
hell
actually
this,
be a
this
little.
this thing could not be real for all that we know. To be
Well,
fair.
yeah, and of course, and even if it is real, we probably don't know that any of this is true.
Ooh, wait, I just have a better idea on how I can. I want to shove it by controversial instead.
Hmm. All right, go ahead.
Oh, these are so much worse. Oh my god. But yeah, what do you what's the verdict on that on the first one? Not the asshole,
Wish
the asshole. Everyone's the asshole.
I wish I had a gavel, like like a judge's gavel, like just slamming on a desk, like I debut. All right, well, what do I have as a gavel? I'll just smack
Oh,
my charger against my phone. Hear that?
no,
That's
I
probably
didn't. It's like
that's
probably
probably not
scuffed
picking up.
out. It's probably scuffed
All
out
right,
with the Discord filter.
all right. I'll use this.
Okay. Do not use that for this next
Okay,
story. Do not repeat. Do not use that for this next story because it's kind of messed up.
my
Trigger
fun.
warning. Trigger warning for sexual assault. Just letting everyone know.
Okay,
Okay.
this. Wait a minute. This is on the same Reddit.
Yeah, it's I filtered it by controversial top of all time. And yeah, first one's about sexual assault, which is
All right. Well, that's
um. Did I
we.
read
Oh,
it? Did I read this story? It's not.
God.
From what I'm looking, it's not. Doesn't get graphic, but so I'll just read it out. I'll just read the title and you decide if I should read it or not. Am I the asshole
Sure.
for siding with my BF over my sister after she was victim of a crime? It might not be sexual assault looking at it.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Repeat that.
Am I the asshole for siding with my BF over my sister after she was the victim of a crime? Let's see.
The
Oh my god, I was
fuck?
looking at the wrong story. I was reading
Okay.
the wrong one. God damn it. Uh.
Because
I'm a
yeah,
fucking retard. Um. Okay, let's not read that top one. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
let's read a little bit lighter of one. Am I the asshole for stopping my husband after he secretly spent $30,000 on casino slots? How about that one?
Okay, let's go to that one.
Yeah, we're just gonna read that. I'm gonna leave all. I might cut that previous part, honestly, but and maybe I won't. So, am I the asshole for stopping my husband after he secretly spent $30,000 on casino slots? Out of just like without reading the story, honestly, I think no. Just out of the
So
without
she
reading.
so she slapped him for spending $30,000 at a casino.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, honestly, I mean, by that point, yeah, that's honestly justified. I mean, if my wife spent $30,000 at a casino, I'd slap the shit out of her too.
I'm seeing a lot of the comments saying it's a fake story.
Yeah, because honestly, it because yeah, again, we don't really.
I kind of want to just read it to see why people say
Let's read it to see whether or
uh,
not this. All right, go ahead.
let's read and see if people say it's fake. So I, 34F, and my husband, 35M, always had a good relationship. We met at a country club, and I knew he was the one. It was love at first sight. We have been married for 12 years, and they've been wonderful. But I don't know if I can do this anymore. We are pretty well off financially. He takes care of the money, so I never noticed it decreasing. 2 years ago, excuse me, my oldest child, 10M, got sick and was put into the hospital. Was put in, oh God, hospital. It devastated our family, especially our daughter AF, since they were close. Since they are close. Kind of weird grammar. On to the problem. I noticed how my son Luke, fake name, haven't gotten any better. He can barely stand up anymore and just lays in his room all day. Before he was as giddy as ever. I talked to my husband today and was shocked when he told me he couldn't afford Luke's medication. I screamed at him, asking where the money went. He looked down in shame, and he said he accidentally spent it all on slots at the nearby casino with his friends. This wasn't my proudest moment, but I lost it and started screaming at him, calling him useless and good for nothing dad. He was quiet during the fiasco and just stood there. I became even more mad and slapped him across his face. After that, he just left. After he left, I broke down. My husband was the breadwinner, and I had no idea how I was going to pay for Luke's medication. His parents later called and chid me out for calling me an asshole and that I was overreacting over it.
Okay,
Yeah, I can see why it's people think it's fake. That
that
read
does
that
sound
that read like a Wattpad fan fiction.
that read like an actual like some sort of weird story. Now, I mean, of
But
course, with
it's
all
definitely
the like the few hiccups with minor spelling mistakes and the way it read, like the description of everything as well. It does feel like a really fake story.
also 30,000 on slots. Who the fuck is
Accidentally as
who,
well.
no, he obviously said to get out of it. Well, to get out of it on quotations, but like, who the fuck is gonna spend 30,000 on slots?
Yeah,
Like,
30,000
come
on
on. If
slots. I
people are
don't know
gonna
about
spend
that. Like,
30,000, they're doing it on poker, or blackjack, or fucking roulette.
yeah,
Not on slots.
yeah, definitely in the bigger gambling things, or even like say a horse race, or like those like small racing events they have.
Yeah. Unless he
Not
was there for 12 hours, I doubt he spent 30,000 on slots.
on top of that, like accidentally, just the put it
Well,
in quotations for
you're
me.
taking the accidentally too literally. Accidentally, he was just probably, from what I'm reading, she's saying that he just said accidentally to try to, I guess, make it seem like, uh, he didn't
Yeah,
do it
fair.
on purpose. He's probably makes it spreading the story to make it seem like he's just saying it was accidentally when it was
Yeah,
really.
but on top of everything else, it does feel very fishy.
Yeah.
The
And
previous story that
didn't give any specific illness or like diagnosis or what the medication is or anything like that.
yeah, it
Weird.
seems yeah, uh, I'm smelling some cap here.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I mean,
And then there's also
hmm.
the love at first sight part. Like at the country club, like that's like classic Wattpad openings.
I mean, lots of people do use that description to describe their relationships in real life. With a lot of them do say the whole love at first sight thing, but majority of people don't say that because a lot of them know that that kind of love at first sight thing isn't really isn't a real thing. It's a bit of a weird description.
Yeah, I'm reading through the comments, and a lot of people agree. Like, who the fuck spends 30K on slots? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Slot machines. It's like you probably spend at most like maybe $40.
hell, 400 maybe if you're feeling lucky, I guess.
Yeah, if you're feeling a little lucky.
Or if you're like been there for like 3 hours and you're feeling a little tipsy, and you don't feel like talking, you
Yeah,
don't
if you're like
feel
yeah,
going to
if you're
the table.
yeah, if you're like really wasted, but even if you're wasted, you're probably not even gonna. You're probably going to see it the fact that you would just like maybe walk over to like say the roulette table, or maybe go to the bathroom to vomit. But $30,000 on slots. Yeah, this story's got a bit of gaps in there.
Yeah. Unless I just like went to like a Las Vegas gas station and just spent 30K on slots there. Because in
Yeah,
Vegas,
I mean,
funny, yeah, in Vegas, I've been to Vegas a couple times, um, every single fucking gas station and store has slot machines at the fucking entrance. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, hotels have slot machines at the entrance. 7-Elevens, Circle K's, they have fucking slot machines at the entrance, pretty much. This is the
well,
craziest shit ever. Like, Las Vegas is not a place to live, it's a place to go on vacation. Like, seriously.
yeah. Now let's give these people the benefit of the doubt. Now, like, what if the
But,
story is true?
let's just, like, so, let's just say it is.
Hypothetically,
I
yeah.
honestly say that slapping him for spending 30K when her child is sick, I'd honestly say that's a reasonable thing. Like
Now, of course,
I'd be like put yourself in her shoes the best you can, I guess. Like Come on, I'd be pretty fucking pissed. I would have. Yeah. He's lucky she didn't do more than just slap him.
Yeah, I'd be infuriated.
Yeah, 30
But
kids
again,
have a sick
yeah, but
child,
again,
but
yeah, like $30,000 away, sick child. That's like that would be really devastating. But of course, still gonna go out on a limb here and say the story's fake.
well, yeah. But if it wasn't fake, I'd say she is not the
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah. Verdict: she's not the asshole.
Yes, if the story is real. All right.
All right,
Let me see. Okay,
let's see. Any
I'm gonna try to find one that's not fake.
the love at first sight got me though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if
As
I
soon as
can
I heard,
find one that's not
as
fake.
soon as I heard, it was love at first sight.
A lot of the controversials are just controversial because people think they're fake.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what? I mean, again,
Yeah,
when it
a lot
comes
of
to
these are
stuff
just
like,
like a lot of these are just controversial because people think they're fake. I'm gonna just
well,
go back
yeah,
to top of all time.
I wanna see one about like, I slashed my husband's tires.
Okay, I might be able to find something like that. Um, okay, so here are the tags. You got advice needed, trigger warning abuse, NSFW, trigger warning SH. We're not reading any essay video. We're not reading any essay stories. Not the asshole posts, and we're not reading that last one either because it is involving minors, and I refuse to read stuff like that.
Okay.
I refuse to read stuff like that on here, so we're not doing any of that. Yeah, there's some fucked up stories. I'm trying to find some. Ooh, entitled parents could be a fun one to read.
Ooh, entitled parents.
Our
All
slash
right, all
entitled
right.
parents is another one. Okay, so we're doing a little. Well, we'll just title it reading different Reddit stories, I guess. But so yeah, we're gonna switch over to r slash entitled parents, and we're gonna
Ooh,
go
let's see
to
this.
controversial. I'm gonna see what the controversial look like here.
Let's. I mean, if it's entitled parents, it shouldn't be too bad.
Well, these are a lot shorter than others. Oh, never mind. Oh my god, that's such a long story. Okay, looks like this is an update. No, it's not. Um, okay, we're just gonna read the top one of controversial.
All right,
There's no like, am I the asshole type deal. Let's just like say our thoughts on it, I guess, after I
all right,
read it.
all right.
So this one is Plorky Ploke Throwaway. Seems like they've written multiple stories because it starts with, "Yeah, I'm back with another entitled parents encounter." But
All right.
so the title is another airport entitled mother harassed me about my retro gaming on my laptop. No, about retro gaming on my laptop. Okay, this is a long one. Yeah, I'm back, and with another entitled parent encounter. I seem cursed of this sort of thing because almost the exact situation repeated itself. I was traveling for work again and cutting things close to be home for Christmas. This time it happened to be on a layover. Jesus, I cannot read today. This happened on a layover on my way home. The next flight wasn't to be for a few hours, so I did my usual of finding an airport cafe and plugging in my personal laptop so I would not run the battery dry. This time I was playing Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. I really enjoyed playing as Henry, even though his quest is so much shorter because he actually uses a gun. I had to wear headphones to avoid disturbing anyone, but eventually I felt a small hand tugging on my pant leg. It was a small boy, probably a bit younger than me, probably a bit younger than the one from the last time I posted. He pointed out the bright red game controller I was using, asked what it was. He thought it was for an Xbox. Initially, I was mildly offended by that, being the retro Nintendo fan I am,
Oh
but
my
only a but only a complete jerk would be angry at a kid for not knowing about something that existed before they were born. Plus, it's not like all people in my day were Nintendo fans. Yeah, I was one of those guys who got into console debates, and even though I never got a chance to really click with the Super Nintendo, I still defended it against Sega Genesis, though not on a console wars level. I let my friends do those debates. Back to the situation in the airport. I was tired and not in the mood to be bothered, so I politely asked the kid to please go back to his parents and leave me be. He just stared at me like what I said didn't register, so I asked again, and when that didn't work, I asked a nearby employee for help and a coffee refill. The employee found the kid's mother nearby and ushered the boy back to her. Moments later, I was being confronted by EM dressed in all black and white, while red in the neck. Red? Well, what the fuck? Confronted by an entitled mother dressed in all black and white while red in the face like a bad newspaper headline, and was demanding to know what my problem was. I can't just play video games in public and expect not to attract the attention of children. I sighed because I knew exactly where this was going, not my first rodeo after all, but in most other situations like that, I usually just get a dirty glare from the entitled parent. After the incident in which a entitled mother destroyed my laptop. Okay, we need to read that. We need to read this other story he's talking about because it sounds crazy. I was
We'll
much more
finish
on
this one
guard.
first.
Yeah, I stood up and told her it was not my job to entertain her child. It's not the job of the cafe employees or other people in the cafe either. It was her job either bring something for her kid to game on or find a way to entertain him herself. I don't care, but leave me out of it. She acted extremely offended and called me a giant man baby. I told her that was exactly the sort of thing a Karen would say, which only angered her further. This dude's a fucking this dude's G, Jesus. Soon
Yeah,
the
legend.
soon the same employee was back and tried to break things up. She politely asked us both to calm down, but the entitled refused and said I would be thrown out for insulting her. Finally, I had enough and said I sued the last person like her who demanded I entertain her son because they broke my computer and got arrested. And there were cameras all around us to see who started what. So go ahead, try me. The entitled mother started huffing, and I calmed down enough to sit back down and act polite enough said to please just leave me alone. The employee sided with me and asked her to just calm down and leave me be. The entitled mother huffed and dragged her kid away from by the hand while she cried about the games for a good while. She was repeatedly glaring at me. Her son played on what I assumed was her phone, which meant she had nothing to do herself, but then they left and later came back with a coloring book and fresh pack of crayons. I think she grabbed at the overpriced gift shop and her son played with all that until it was time to go. This isn't quite over though. That entitled mother was somehow on the same flight as me, which made sure she made sure to be as close to me as possible, and her little boy had nasty gas, so he kept farting right in my direction, but I stayed silent and I kept my sunglasses on so she could not see where I was looking. She tried acting smug looking back at me, but the smugness was short-lived as it made sure to act completely indifferent and silent to not show any irritation. Someone who called her out on her kids farting too, and she had a short argument with him about it. Later she seemed to look like she sucked on a lemon as she saw I got too bored before her to go to the business class, and she had the board for a couch a few minutes later. What the fuck? She mouthed, fuck you, as she went to my aisle seat and was on the flight before the entitled mother. So I didn't see her again when leaving the airport. When my wife picked me up, I told her what happened. She rolled her eyes and called me a Karen magnet. And we have a edit here. Yeah, my wife told me no one would believe me if I posted this year. She's one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. To answer why I was in the cafe and not the lounge, I go where there's a free power outlet. Plus, I wanted some good coffee. Why didn't I just explain about the games, the Nintendo 64 controller to the kid? Because every time I've done that with the entitled parents' kid, they don't seem to lose interest. I've been asked by kids many times while emulator gaming on my laptop, and they rarely ever care what the games are. Rarely ever care that the games are over 20 years old. They're more concerned with the fact I have games and when they're bored and have nothing else to do. And when my wife called me a Karen magnet, she wasn't joking. Most of the people who ask me about my Nintendo 64 gaming on my laptop just have a few questions and leave me alone. Then there's the ones who don't leave me alone I've had numerous similar incidents in various cases, but most of the time the entitled parent takes their kid and backs off. And the incident in which Karen, entitled mother, broke my laptop left me with the even shorter fuse for those people. Call me a giant man baby if you want, but I just wanted to relax and play my games in peace while waiting for my flight. Is that so wrong? So yeah, what do you think about that story? As a retro
Wow,
gamer
that's
myself.
yes. As a retro gamer myself, I agree. I 100% agree at the fact it's like I mean, if you want to play you want to play video games in public. You obviously don't want to be bothered. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, if somebody asks you, probably walks up to you and says, "Hey, what's that video game they're proud?" I mean, yeah, I'll tell them, but then I'll go back to gaming. I'll be like, do 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 do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love kids. I love talking to kids. I love hanging out with kids. But but it's like if I'm wearing headphones and I'm like really zoned into a video game and a kid walks up to me and it's like, yeah, this video game is that, then it's like, yeah, could you please go away? And the kid doesn't go away. It's gonna be like, this is a
I
big
always thought
issue,
you were the kind of person who loved to explain shit like that, honestly.
huh?
I always saw you as the kind of person who loves to explain stuff like that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would. I would love to just, like tell the kid it's like this is what you call Castlevania Symphony of the Night or stuff like this right here is called what's another good game? Vector Man. This is what you call Sonic the Hedgehog. I'd love to do that, but if I am like zoned into a video game and the kid
Yeah, if you're
is
locked in, if you're like locked in fighting a boss or something.
yeah, but I mean, if it is just like, say, I don't know, like a basic level, or I'm just like barely playing the game a bit, then yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind explaining to a kid what I'm doing and what I'm playing, but it doesn't mean I would love to just entertain the kid for
Yeah,
like the entire time I was there.
yeah, that's fair. I get that. If I was like, I'm not much of a retro gamer. I've like I've done emulation on my laptop before. Um, fuck, what's the word? Allegedly pirated some games, allegedly, but like some Nintendo 64 Mario, some Zelda Majora's Mask, the first Zelda game, just stuff like that. And in general, I personally, I don't think I'll ever play video games in public because I get too focused and then probably lose sense of my surroundings. But yeah, I get it. You want to just play your game in peace and not want to be interrupted by anything. Makes sense.
Yeah, but of
And
course, like,
also, people need to take better care of their children. Like, swear to God.
yeah,
Let's just like scroll away from the whole like video game part. Like,
yep,
why as a parent, why is your child going up and talking to random strangers?
yeah, you see,
Let's say let's say this dude wasn't just like gaming and he was like some kind of creep. What if he like takes your kid? Like, what are you
yeah,
gonna do then?
yeah.
People need to take better care of their children and teach them to be more careful around strangers. I swear to God.
Yeah, see, now that is definitely a big issue because when it comes to little kids wandering out in public areas and talking to strangers, it does happen a lot more than you think, which is the bad part because kids are curious, kids will wander, kids stare at people a lot in public. I've always been out in grocery shopping and I've always been pushing my cart, doing a little jig while doing it, dancing a bit. And kids have always looked at me. They've given me a death stare, just staring at me, just looking at me and move past them. I mean, it's gonna happen. Then, like a kid's gonna interact with you. Yeah, kids have also walked up to me in public before and like talk to me, and it's like, oh yeah, hey there, little dude, and how you doing? Then he just kind of walks away. But there are certain points where it's gonna be like a kid is gonna possibly talk to a stranger and they're gonna get in a bad situation. It's like, watch your children. Like if I was, especially in an airport of all places, an airport that is fucking dangerous.
I'm reading some of the comments. A lot of people are saying it's a fake story. This one dude said, "You write like you have an extremely punchable face."
Yeah, I
God.
mean, yeah, as you were reading the story, I did feel like it could have been fake because
Another dude said, "You're right, like you smell Cheeto dust and BO."
Jesus Christ.
You goofy lion.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Oh.
It is kind of worded similarly to that like 30,000 slot story, but this is a bit more descriptive. But of course, more descriptive stories could be fake. But I mean, uh, yeah, wasn't there like I don't know, like something attached to the story to make sure that people knew it was real?
Um, they don't really have any tags to. All I see is a L.
Hmm,
I'm not sure what L means. I think
not
L
sure
just
what
means like L just means like they're not real or something. No,
L.
I don't. I don't. Yeah, it's tagged L. I don't know what that means. Um, what does S mean? I don't know what these tags mean. Give me a second. I'll figure it out. Fuck! I left the subreddit by accident. Sorry, just give me one second. I'll figure it out.
I gotta check out part one
Oh
of this
wait, wait,
story.
wait, wait, wait! I just realized. So there's another subreddit called "Am I the Devil?" Right? It's a subreddit where like all of the worst "Am I the Asshole" stories get posted to "Am I the Devil?" Where it's like obvious that
Yikes.
OP is the asshole. I kind of want to read some of these.
Well, if it's the worst on there, and we were just on there, I think we saw a few of them that were pretty bad.
Well, the thing is, top ones aren't always assholes. Like top stars are always the ones that are assholes. We get
What?
Am I the Devil could be pretty cool. Could be pretty fun to read. As long as this. Ooh, what the? Nope, not reading that.
Yeah, that ooh makes me think. Oh boy, we're about to get into
Yeah,
something.
I'm gonna show you the story I just read. It's well, the story, the title I just read real quick. It's not hard. It's not hard at all.
Not good.
It's not okay. Here, I'm gonna send it in the disc. I'm not gonna send it in the Discord actually. I'm gonna send it to your personal Discord instead. 'Cause I don't want it to be in this. I don't want it to be in the general chat.
All right, I'll go ahead and just wait for the message to pop up.
This is pretty bad. I don't want to read it out loud. So.
Okay.
Yeah. See what I mean? Some of these are pretty fucking bad.
I love the description here. Asshole from another realm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Give me a second. I'm trying to find one that's not about essay. Just kind of difficult for some reason.
I
Uh,
think. Oh gosh.
okay, this one could be interesting. Okay, this one's from r/mi off my chest, which is like where people just like go to rant about stuff that happens in their life. But it was reposted onto r/mi the devil, so this ought to be
All right.
interesting. So
I,
here's the story. So here's the title. I made my girlfriend cry for admitting that my best friend is more attractive than her. Wait a second, I think I've read this story before. Yes, I have, but you probably haven't, so I'll still read it. Okay. So here we go. I, 25M, have been dating my girlfriend, 24F, for almost a year now. Before we became official, we were friends for at least 4 years. Other than my girlfriend, the second most important person in my life is my best friend, 24F. We've been best friends for more than a decade, and she's been there for me for all of my lowest points. I literally could not have survived this long without her. Our relationship is purely platonic. I admit that I've had a crush on her before, but we both admitted that it would be better for us to stay as best friends, and that was that. She isn't the stereotype girl best friend either. She's just my best friend who just happens to be female. She respects boundaries, and I like to believe that she genuinely just sees me as a friend, and vice versa. We've been each other's support system for a long time and even trust each other more than our own parents. Recently, my girlfriend asked me if I think she's pretty or more attractive than my best friend. For context, the best friend is a successful fashion model slash influencer. She looks like your typical model slash influencer, tall, slender, clear skin, while my girlfriend is honestly short, quite chubby, and has a lot of acne. I love my girlfriend, I really do. She has social anxiety and thus sometimes goes for long periods without contacting me. But I've never once felt any doubt or temptation to cheat or find someone else. I accept and love her as she is. When she asked that question, I answered yes. I believe my best friend is prettier slash more attractive than her. I mean, come on, my girlfriend is a normal girl, and my best friend literally gets paid and receives lots of free stuff solely for her looks. She got offended and started crying. She hasn't talked to me in a while either. I don't understand why she's acting that way. I mean, the answer was obvious, but it doesn't make me love her any less. Clearly, I chose to date her instead of other women. I accept her as a whole package. I told my best friend about my answer, and she slapped me and said, "Nah." She slapped me. Now she's been on my ass to make it right. Was I expected to very blatantly lie to my girlfriend? That wouldn't have been worse if I wasn't honest. Even with eyes, could clearly see who was more attractive when I wouldn't it wouldn't it be a slap to her just to lie to her face that way? I don't get why I have to be a bad guy in this situation. And OP posted an update. I was able to talk to her. She apparently told other people about the situation, and everyone, including her own mother, sides with me. She shouldn't have been asking me questions like that when the answer was obvious. She apologized for even asking that question in the first place. To everyone saying as you're broken up with her, we're good. I'm feeling very betrayed by my best friend instead because it's clear whose side she chose. She's the only one who took my GF side. Most of the people we know are also upset at her. These are the people who actually know us in the relationship. Um, so, what I think this dude is example of being brutally honest, I guess.
And honestly, those are my favorite people.
Crazy how. Well, the thing is, how should I see this from a different angle? I see beauty as something that's objective and something that's subjective. Like
Well, yeah.
objective, like let's say, try to think. Objective would technically be this dude's girlfriend and his best friend. That's like objectively, his best friend is technically better looking, but subjectively to his eyes, his girlfriend should be better looking, should be prettier. Like that's the way I say. Like if I have a girlfriend, like compare, like let's say, I don't know. Let's just say, let's try and use someone to use as an example. Um, hmm, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a female. I can't think of a good actor. I don't know. Let's say I have a girlfriend, and compared compared to any other girl, she's gonna be prettier to me because like she's my girlfriend. Like subjectively, she's more prettier to me. But objectively though, like supermodels are better looking. That's what I'm trying to say. Is he should have said that objectively, his best friend is prettier, but to him, she's the prettiest. Is how she should have put it. It's not what he said; it's the way he put it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, he gave his opinion and he shared his thoughts about the whole thing. I mean, it's like, hey,
The problem
you,
is he said
it's
it
like,
like an asshole. That's what I'm trying to get across.
yeah, he was very blunt about it. He was super blunt, and he clearly didn't realize what exactly he did or realize that it would hurt her feelings. I mean, obviously, saying something like that is going to hurt her feelings, but he's probably, judging from everything that's being expressed right now, he's probably a very blunt person. You know, somebody who's brutally honest and probably doesn't catch that kind of stuff pretty quickly.
Well, you can be brutally
I mean,
honest while still being polite about it.
oh, trust me, I've interacted with several people like that before. A lot of them realize nothing. A lot of because
they
yeah,
don't
it's
they
the
don't
point.
pick up social cues very well, huh?
Yeah, very, very clearly. It's being blunt for a reason. I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you've known me for a while. There was a certain point where I was pretty blunt.
Yeah, you can be kind of blunt sometimes, but never as bad as some of the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, but I don't think this.
When you're blunt, it's for the right reasons, for the right times usually though.
Now let's go ahead and just address the fact that this is on what was it called? R/ Am I the Devil?
Well, it was reposted there from r/ off my chest, and the user actually deleted their profile
The
because
one who reposted
because
it.
no, the one who posted it on r/ off my chest, they
Uh,
deleted their profile. It's by you deleted. It just means they deleted the profile. Because on Reddit, when you delete your profile, all of your posts still stay.
uh. Well, I'm gonna be totally. I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna be 100%. That does not belong on r/ Am I the Devil.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't think it. Sure, he was an asshole, but at the same time, I guess the girlfriend kind of. I don't want to say she overreacted because if I was put in that situation, I'd be kind of mad too. Let's just say I was in her place. But it's like, all I'm saying is, what he said, okay, sure, that's fair enough, but he should have said it in a better way. Like,
Yeah,
he should have made it clear that his girlfriend is still the prettiest person to him specifically. Is what I should have said. Is what he should have said.
and of course the whole point of like the his best friend slapping him for saying all that.
I mean, I don't know what that was all about, honestly.
Yeah, I
um,
mean that might have been a bit unnecessary. It's like, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, he's a very. It's obviously that whoever this is probably really blunt, but if they were very blunt, they probably wouldn't have deleted their profile like
What the fuck? Sorry, I just found another story. I'm trying to see if people are saying this is fake or not before reading it.
that. Yeah, I mean it
I'm just
could.
looking through the comments real quick. No, I'm talking about the one I found. The new one I
Uh,
found. Um. Yeah. Okay. So this one apparently, from what I've seen, is not fake. A lot of people are saying this is pretty real.
the one that you're
So
looking at right now.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I am trying to just read through it quickly so I can see if there's any trigger warnings in here. Um. One second. Are there any trigger warnings in here? Oh, okay. So, okay, just for context, the person who posted this isn't the person who the story's about. It was
All right.
apparently the comments on it were so brutal that the post was going to get deleted. So this dude like copy pasted it and posted it to I am the devil. Wow. Huh.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go to the original post. Oh, never
Is
mind.
it
It was deleted and banned. Wow. Huh. Okay.
so? Is
Wow.
it is it like really over the line?
I'm trying to read through it without reading too much of it. Doesn't look like okay. Looks like it's just manipulation. All right, I'll just read the title. I 35M deeply regret manipulating my wife 34F into having children. And it was posted on r/relationship advice, but got but got reposted to r/am I the devil.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's see. One second. Reading stream. No, there's nothing like essay involved or anything. Looks like the only trigger. Okay, so trigger warning mentioned of postpartum depression. All right. Okay, so otherwise nothing too. All right, let's start reading this, I guess. Oh yeah. Also, this
Alrighty
isn't
then.
like a am I the asshole. It's just like we'll just give our opinions on it after I read it. Okay. Okay. So here we go. I 35 am deeply regret manipulating my wife F 34 into having children. I know it sounds bad, and I know we're not supposed to talk like this, but the biggest regret I have is having children. Our lives are ruined because, man, I don't know where to go from here. My wife and I have been together 12 years, married 6. We have 2 kids, 2, what the fuck? 2F times 2? So twins, I guess. We had agreed to be child free very early on, but as we were getting closer to 30, I just became obsessed with the idea of having children. We were engaged, and I told her that I would not marry her unless we had at least one child. We broke up for a bit, but we found our way back to each other, and she agreed to one. She agreed under certain conditions, the main one being that she didn't want to stay home with the child for any more time than it took her to heal. She had an amazing job that she absolutely loved, worked very hard to get, and was paid extremely well. I had a job that I also loved, but was not well paid. I'm in a field where there's a huge income disparity depending on what you do. I got to do what I loved because her job was more compensated financially. We had an amazing life and an amazing relationship. We traveled a lot in our country, and initially we were both outdoorsy and active. People would take camp. We would inactive people and would take camping slash hiking slash rock climbing vacations regularly. We had tons of sex, tons of free income, and a lot of financial security, and I fucked it all up. My wife ended up pregnant with twins. They fucked up the epidural, they fucked up the C-section, they had and she had an extremely traumatic birth experience. Now, almost 2 years down the line, she struggles with chronic pain and extreme postpartum depression. She can't work at all, not her job, and not any other job. She can barely walk anymore in half an hour. She can barely walk more than half an hour at a time without pain, and her mental state means she probably wouldn't be responsible for patients. She went from a high powered position to laying in bed and crying all day. I honestly don't think there's been a day since the birth that she hasn't cried. We haven't been intimate in more than 2 years. Mom moved in with us to help raise the kids, and she's old school and doesn't believe in mental health. She's not the nicest to my wife, and they're alone all day. There's no one else we can ask, and we can't afford other help. She's in therapy, she's on medication, we've seen all the doctors we can see. I went from a low stress job I love to a higher paying one I hate. I work 12 plus hours, 12 plus hour days, and even weekends sometimes. We were still struggling. I miss my old life so much. I miss my work and my friends, and above all, I also desperately miss my wife. Our children haven't been raised by my mom primarily. I spend as much time as I can with them, but I barely know them. I don't know what I was looking for when I wanted kids, but it certainly wasn't this. I don't blame them for anything, but have a hard time bonding with them. My wife spends most of her time in our room and interacts with them when I'm there or during therapy. I don't think we're doing a good job with them. They're well cared for by my mom, well fed, happy, and safe, but I don't think we are involved as parents should be. I'm struggling on seeing a way out. Therapy is helping, but the progress is slow. I don't really know what more to do right now. I feel so much hatred for myself. We had such a good life, and it all went down the drain. And in the end, my wife is ruined physically and mentally for something she didn't even want in the first place. I'm not sure what advice I'm asking for, but I'm not sure what else there is to do here. But if anyone has anything to offer, even nice words, it would be appreciated. All our friends distance themselves, and we literally have no one but each other. Wow. Okay. Um.
Well,
Huh. Whoa. That's crazy.
um, alrighty
Um.
then.
So, what do you think about that? Wow.
Well, before
Uh.
I before I give my input, I need to go use the restroom real quick. Alright, I'm back.
All right. Cool. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that was a bit of a long restroom break there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. I had to use the restroom too. But all right. So, do you wanna
So,
go over that
alright,
story,
so,
or do you wanna just go past it? Because I gave my piece on it.
alright.
Up to you.
I mean, I'm not sure whether it's like the whole situation that we just read about in the little Reddit story there. It's like it's it's certainly something.
Yeah, it's honestly nothing to say about it. It's just horrible situation.
It's one of those stories that kind of leaves me speechless. It's just like a what the fuck do I say here? So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, it's probably smart or a good idea. That's what I meant to say.
Anyways, so more Reddit stories.
I'm trying. So incels are fun to make fun of. So I'm trying to find a good incel subreddit that has like stories of them.
r/r/ incels
There's r/incel tears.
incel tears.
Yeah, it's just screenshots of text messages though. Can't really read them as stories. Um, the blue pill, interesting. Let's see. A lot of these are just like, hmm, trying to find good story subreddits. Let's see here. I know you don't know it, so I'm trying to think. Yeah. Let's see here. R/ confident incorrect. Nah, it's just screenshots. Uh, a lot of the subreddits I go to are just pictures. Like I don't know any good story ones. Um, entitled bitch. What? Wait. Oh. Ooh, r/choosing beggars could be cool. Yeah, I'll explain what it is in a second if I can find any good ones. Okay, I'm gonna just if I find a good one, then we'll do this. But still looking. Let's see. Well,
Uh,
if you want, you could go on Reddit and find some stories if you want to read one yourself. You can look if you want to.
yeah, I mean, I'd have to make a new Reddit account because I can't remember the information from my old Reddit
Well,
account.
you don't need an account to read stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just need an account to comment and stuff.
All right, Reddit.
If you want to, you don't have to. Okay, let's see. Damn, all these are fucking. None of these are good story Reddit. Hmm. Hmm. What are you laughing about? What are you reading?
I opened the Reddit page and I just see r/Pizza Hut employees
Uh,
with an image from an angry employee who's getting pissed off at shit that's going on at his job, and it's really funny. It's a piece of paper that's like, I guess we don't fold boxes, clean bathrooms, mop floors, fill shakes, or fill dressing anymore. this is this is half of the closing list. I guess if you don't want to do your job, I will I will hire people who do. Oh, so this is probably from a manager then. Visual search. What the heck is? Oh my god. Oh my.
what?
There's like I hit visual search and there's like so many more of these different things. Let's see what's under this. R/Walmart employees. Let's unionize Walmart. R/Tumblr. R/Publix. Curious customer asks, "What's with this milk?"
Hey, do you want to talk about religion?
What?
Do you want to talk about religion?
That's such a random thing to get into. So
Okay, so
What a,
this it's related to Reddit. I went on r/atheism.
oh my
I kind of want to read some of these. See, they're just like small little things. There's like stuff we can add opinions on. I'm gonna go to controversial. Oh my god, I hope they're not all pictures. Uh,
r/DIY. Anyone know what these holes are on the side of the house? What the fuck? r/presidents. Was Truman's decision to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki correct?
what the fuck?
Well, it
No,
ended the war,
r
so
slash atheism is shit. Never mind, I'm not doing it there. Ooh, no, ask Reddit. It's kind of dumb. Uh, we're just really going
what?
through subreddits now. Let's see here.
r/explain the joke.
That's no. Have you heard of r/PETA? I don't get it, or like PETA, whatever it's called. It's
I
like,
gotta
hang
go
on,
to
let me
this
see.
one.
I think I actually following you. Give me a second. r/PETA explain the joke. I think is what it's called. Uh,
Okay, so I get that one a bit. I get that one. Drink your meal, save money, thank us later. Start 2024 with 161 health benefits. I've been wondering I've been wondering about this for a long time. All right, so this is a meme. So this is on r/explain the joke. Dad, why is my sister named Rose? Because your mother loves
oh my
roses.
god.
Thanks, Dad. No problem.
Oh, here it is. There's a subreddit called r/Peter explains the joke, which is exactly what you just said, but with Peter in it. But with Peter
Oh
in the
my.
title.
Okay, so I read the joke here, and this is actually so
Of
good.
course you
Okay,
think
so
jokes on that site's funny. Well, that fucking subreddit is funny.
I've been seeing this a lot. Context: Vogue model versus McDonald's cashier. I get the joke here. There's probably a lot of these that I won't get. All right, I don't get it. Shakespeare walks into a gay bar. Exit pursued by a bear. This is it. This is it. This is peak humor. I think this was a joke from a movie called This. Wait, The World's End. Check. Let's check the comments. Exit pursued by a bear is a sage direction from Shakespeare's The Winter Tale. Oh yeah, The Winter's Tale. Yep, yep. I remember this.
Yo, I just found a really cool subreddit. r/scary stories. Wait, are you trying not to laugh right now? What?
Oh my god.
What are you laughing about? What?
Okay, so I found I found one. It says I'm clueless on this one, and it's a picture of a Polish coffee mug, and it's got the handle inside of it.
Oh. Oh no. No, my r/scary story. Shit.
It shouldn't be that funny, but it is. Why is the Loch Ness monster asking for $3.50? All right, let's go and check the comments. There is a reoccurring gag on an episode of South Park where one character tells a story about the Loch Ness monster repeatedly asking him for free fitty. Oh, the joke is that you would think a man's story about his encounter with a cryptid would be fascinating. That's funny. Oh, but I
Uh,
don't know why the Polish one with the mug made me laugh so much. Yeah, Shakespeare walks into a gay bar. Exit pursued
ooh.
by a bear.
Okay, so I found this thing on paranormal r/paranormal. I think it'd be pretty interesting actually. Okay, so does the existence of ghosts prove that memory is stored outside the brain? if we see the ghost of a dead person and it looks, sounds, etc. just like them, then this means the universe somehow stores information about events that have occurred. If a person sees the ghost of someone they didn't know and this ghost was indeed of a person that existed, then this shows us that the universe can store information as memories. The person who sees the ghost doesn't have the memory of the person in their brain, so this shows us that the universe itself somehow stores that person's data. Can this can expand souls existing outside of the body? What do you think about that?
It's an interesting idea on how the idea of ghosts work. I mean, when it comes to the idea of the paranormal, I actually do believe in it.
Yeah, I kind of find it hard not to believe it for me personally, because I've had experiences with it before.
I mean, a lot of people are very skeptic on the whole idea of uh, beings beyond the dead walking among us in reality, drifting in and out of reality because they are dead in a living world.
Yeah, my whole I don't really know what to think on ghosts personally. All I know is I've had some pretty weird interactions with spirits type deals, and hell, I've even had like paranormal experiences and dreams. Have you ever heard of I forget what it's called, but it's like this I can't remember. I think it's I don't remember if it's Japanese or Taiwanese. I can't remember. But it's like this folklore of like or like this legend. If you see a loved one in your dreams and they're like reaching out, if it well a past loved one in your dreams and they're like reaching out to you, it's like
Hmm.
it's like their spirit trying to tell you something. It's or like trying to warn you about something. It's very interesting actually. There's another like how do I say this? It could be one of two things. The legend says it could be one of two things. It could either be a loved one, a past loved one is trying to tell you something, or it could be a warning about some kind of danger that's going to happen soon. And usually that like the reason it happens is usually caused by like a person holding on to memorabilia of a person who passed, or like having a person's belongings and then like their soul's like traced to it or something like that. I don't know the exact details of it, but one time, oh my god, I swear to God, this shit felt so real. One time, sometime last year, I had a dream. It was about my grandmother. My grandmother passed, I think 9 years ago, something like that, and I saw her. It was like just like a white space, and I just like it felt so fucking real. It was crazy, dude. I like saw her reaching out to me, kind of. It was, but it's like something didn't feel right about it, type of deal. It like felt like if I did reach out, if I reached out, something bad was gonna happen, type deal. And then like after that, I think it was after I had that dream, I had well, it wasn't a year ago. It was well, I think it was a couple years ago actually. Remembering when dreams happen is kind of difficult sometimes. Um, it was the last time I had. It was the last time I had a run-in with CPS, or my mom had a run-in with CPS. Like right before that happened, I had that dream of my grandmother reaching out to me. And it's like it said that if that happens, that can be a sign of like something's bad is gonna happen. Then right as after I had that dream, something bad happened. So it's like, this shit. mm, Yeah, that's just my experience with that little paranormal legend there.
I see.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
No, that's fucking. Sorry. Go ahead.
when it comes to dreams like that, they're definitely descriptive and very hard to explain, which is why they're referred to as stuff called lucid dreams, where they
No, it
seem
wasn't
very.
lucid dreaming. It wasn't lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is when you have control over your dream. This dream, like, it felt so real. that I couldn't tell if I was awake or not. Like that's how crazy it was. Like I didn't have control. Like I only knew it was a dream when I once I actually woke up. Like it was it was fucking it was the most weirdest experience I've ever had with dreaming. I had a when I was taking melatonin to when I was having sleeping problems. When I was taking melatonin, I also had some pretty crazy fucking dreams, but that was probably just from the melatonin, to be fair. But yeah, dreams do be weird.
Dreams are definitely a question that many people have been asking. Like, why does a dream happen? Why do people have dreams? People have been asking that question for a very long time. Psychologists, scientists, many people from different sorts of parts of life and walks of life really
What
continue to ask and question exactly how they work.
what you meant? Have you had any like crazy dream experiences like that?
Crazy dream experiences. Yes, I remember like having a strange it happened to me a couple times where I would I would be dreaming and then I would wake up. Although I wasn't awake, I would be in and out of the dream. Like I couldn't
Oh
move.
wow.
Like I was breathing.
Had
I was seeing.
paralysis? You've had sleep paralysis before?
Oh, is that what that was?
That's what it sounds like. Cause Marcus gets that sometimes when it's like you wake up but you can't move.
Well, yeah. Then I guess you could call it sleep paralysis because I mean, I woke
Cause
up.
sleep
I woke
paralysis
up
is pretty
and
much when your mind is awake but your body isn't.
oh yeah, because that's how it was. I was awake yet I could see like an area around me, although it wasn't like an actual area around me. Like I could see everything, like the posters on my wall, my bed, the stuff right next to my bed. Although it was kind of like a faint black outline. It was like a fog. And
Oh,
then I
oh, I
and
just
then I
got
woke.
chills, Jesus. Cause so there's a study. There's actually a study of exact. I know exactly what you're talking about, like exactly. So that's sleep paralysis, and the thing you were saying is they're called shadow people. That's what they're called. That like that like shadowy figure. That's called a shadow person. Did it have like a
Well,
top
that
hat looking thing on like its head or
well,
anything?
that's I know exactly what you're talking about. Although that's not what I was saying. What I'm saying is that instead of the area around me looking normal, it was completely faded. It's like say if somebody were to increase the contrast of something or take away textures or completely color in everything black and foggy. But I have had a couple of nightmares where I've seen dark figures and like in and out of a dream. Because I remember another kind of encounter that I've had away from like the whole paralysis thing where I remember sleeping in my room before, and then I woke up. I don't although I don't think I was actually quite awake because there was something in the corner of my room was kind of like approaching me, like walking towards me, and then it went onto my bed, and then I just jolted awake.
Well, I think pretty
It was
sure
a
that could have been an example of a shadow person then.
Yeah, it was a chilling nightmare to the point where I slept the rest of the night with the light.
Yeah, but I don't think I've. God, the weird thing. Honestly, the nightmare that stuck with me the most. I've told you about it so many times. Is the goddamn Ice Age chipmunk one. Goddamn Ice Age squirrel. That one stuck with me the longest. I think somehow. I remember like even like waking up from it. I remember like even like I was like I remember myself waking up from it. And this was when I was young, so it was like before I could even really have memories. But I remember having that dream, then waking up and jolting awake from it, and then going back to sleep like 5 minutes later. It was probably the memory that struck with me the most. But yeah, I've had a couple. I don't get nightmares too often because I'm not really scared of too many things. It takes a lot to really scare me. Um, trying to think of some nightmares I have had though, because nightmares are honestly more interesting to talk about than dreams sometimes.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
uh, let's see. Uh, I haven't had too many nightmares. I've had a few instances with like feeling like I wasn't by myself a couple times in like old houses and stuff. And yeah, I know my mom has told me some crazy dreams before. Like she told me that she had one with her mom or my grandma, I guess, where it felt like she was actually talking to her, that type of stuff. But I don't know. Trying to think. Most of my nightmares involve like demons and stuff, so it's like not like super horrifying type deal. I don't really know what I find scary. What do you find scary, Bruno? What's the stuff? What kind of stuff do you find scary?
like actual things that I'm genuinely afraid of.
Like
Well,
stuff that you like genuinely like. Oh fuck no, I'm never just like no type of stuff.
for a long time, I've had like a fear of the ocean. Even though that I've never been to the end, even though that I've never been in the ocean, it's like it's referred to a term as thalassophobia.
I think I should
Like,
I think we should take out phobias because that's a whole different thing than from a fear. Phobias are like irrational fears.
yeah, but when it came to like the whole idea that when I was, but it wasn't more or less like it was a fear of atmosphere in the ocean because anything could pop out in the ocean,
Mm.
and I've been terrified of that for a while. But before it started like a fear of deep sea creatures,
That way you
I
can't
was
swim.
terrified. When I was younger, I was terrified of like the way deep sea creatures look, like a goblin shark, anglerfish, giant things like that. I mean, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me at all anymore. But like, it's now more or less, it's just a fear of atmosphere in the ocean. The
I
fact that
see.
anything could pop out of nowhere in the ocean. That's the terrifying part of
You
it.
know, we actually know more about space than we do the ocean. Fun fact.
That's true. Yep, that's very true. Very true.
Which is kind of horrifying that we can see the ends of the universe, but we can't see the depths of our own ocean.
I think it kind of has more or less to do with the fact of the kind of environment that it is, because when it comes to space, it's a weightless environment. So being able to build technology that can travel throughout there, also along with the temperature resistance, because in cold, it's very cold in space, along with it being a weightless environment. So we have been able to develop technology that's able to counteract that. Although when it comes to the ocean, it's a different sort of field. It's heavy, water pressure, millions upon millions of gallons of water pressurizing on different things. We've made submarines that were able to go down there, but then those kind of crash and get destroyed. But we made stuff called submarine drones, so we wouldn't have to send people down there. Even those get destroyed and completely torn apart
Mm.
by water pressure or by unknown creatures that we still can't see.
Damn, we've been recording for an hour 30 minutes. Wow, recording for a long
Uh,
time. Damn. Huh. Yeah, ocean is weird. Ed has a similar fear of the ocean. For viewers, Ed is my grandfather. Um, Ed, and sort of stuff I've told you, he has a similar fear of the ocean. Well, it's more like PTSD than a fear, I guess. I'm just gonna tell the story for the viewers. My grandfather was younger. His brother left him 5 miles out in the ocean, and he had to swim back to the surface, and he had to swim back to the shore. And after that, he just doesn't like the ocean anymore. Also, he used to swim in the ocean for 8 hours a day for a good couple of years. So probably just sick of it. There, man. You good?
Oh yeah, I was just I was just making sure to be quiet so that you could everyone could hear you.
Oh, okay. But yeah, for me, probably the only genuine fear I have, uh, because I'm not scared of. I know it's like, oh, I'm not scared of nothing. I'm not trying to sound like that. It's just like it takes a lot to genuinely terrify me because I've never been genuinely terrified before. But and excluding irrational fears like phobias and stuff like that, I'd honestly say the thing I'm probably most scared of are like things that happen to me that have no explanation, I guess. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. Like stuff
Unexplainable events.
stuff that happens for no good for no reason, I guess. Stuff that don't have a reason to happen. Like
Yeah,
happen.
spontaneous and unexplainable events.
Yes. Stuff like that. Probably because I've had a lot of experiences with that in my life. But yeah.
People have those kinds of experiences a lot more than they actually want to admit
Yeah.
because of just because of how terrifying they actually are.
Humans are afraid of the unexplainable. Just fucking
That's true.
uh it's just an instinct fear. The thing is, what the
As
hell happened in our past that causes that to be a like a genetic instinctual fear? That's my question.
yep, fear of the unknown.
Fucking crazy. Bro, we
Yep.
went from Reddit stories to talking about talking about the human mind. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It's a
that's
pretty good
it.
transition. I'd say it's about time to stop the recording. I'd say we're about
All
done.
right.
Going for about an hour and a half now.
Alrighty then.
Ugh, fuck. I have some more gameplay to record and stuff to do anyways, so. Okay. Okay, so this has been the Nameless Podcast. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We talked about Reddit stories, we talked about space, we talked about dreams, we talked about the ocean, we talked about some scary experiences. This is a pretty full episode for it just being the two of us, I'd say. And yeah, hope y'all have a nice whatever time it is for y'all. See ya.